Oh my goodness gracious, everybody, do we have a lot to talk about. Things got crazy today, and it's time to catch you up if you missed it. So earlier today, Wizkids did a semi-private retailer-only stream where they talked about their upcoming slate for the 2021 year, and oh my goodness, the Dice Master stuff they talked about was absolutely insane, and we're going to comb through the whole thing and maybe add a couple of surprises of our own along the way, starting with another confirmation that the Dark Phoenix Saga draft packs will be out this November. I don't see at any point this ever moving unless a catastrophe occurred. And like I said in the last video, it is 2020, so that might be a thing, but I'm pretty sure that we are going to see this November 2020, so start getting your wallets ready. This set looks insane. Here they showed the rare Dark Phoenix, which we can't quite make out the text of, but I'm pretty sure there's actually a spoiler of this out already. They also showed off some better resolution versions of some cards we've already seen, like this Magneto, which we can confirm with this picture is a super rare. With the one that was taken from Game Trade Magazine, it was a little bit tough to see, but this is indeed a super rare, so we can check that off the list. That's another super rare that we know. Rare Moira and I believe rare Jean Grey were both spoiled already, and I'm pretty sure rare Professor X was also. Maybe I talked about it in the last video. Things have happened since then. I don't even remember, but I'm going to put it on the screen right now so that you can see it. Here's a larger version of that image. Yeah, I think we did talk about this one. This one has Energized, and you get to move an X-Men character die from your use pile to your prep area, which is kind of interesting, kind of cool. He is 6 though, so you'd want to consider copying him with like the Hope Summers and seeing if that plays pretty well, which would be kind of cool. While we're talking about X-Men spoilers, I might as well throw up another one for you. I think this one has been spoiled to a certain degree, but it was a little hard to make out, so here's a clearer image. This one is the common Professor X Dreamer, cost 5, and it says if you spend an X-Men die as your energy to field Professor X, you prep a die from your bag. And this one also has Energize. You move an X-Men character die from your used pile to your bag, or an X-Men die from your used pile to your bag. So that's an interesting little card as well. And this one cost 5, so maybe it's a little bit more reachable. Okay, I can't help it. Let's do one more spoiler, and this one is definitely one you haven't seen before because it's brand new. This is Dampening Collar. It's a 4-cost new basic action. This is a continuous die, which is a die that can go out into the field, an action die specifically, that can go out and sit out and do something out in the field. We have not had a continuous action die for a few sets, if you're not counting the God Catcher, which is kind of a continuous die. Anyway, continuous, your opposing character dice can't spin up. Your opponent may return an X-Men character die they control to its card to remove this die from the field to its card. Here's a card and a die that once it gets active in the field, literally just stops your opponent from doing any spin-ups, any awaken effects, anything like that that you'd want to kind of spin up or down your dice to do like trigger things. This just says nope, unless they have an X-Men character die that they can then return to their card to return this to its card. It's kind of interesting. It may not be the most powerful thing, and it does seem more like a kind of a niche thing. Maybe it's great in the set. We haven't seen all the cards from the set, but keep your eyes peeled here if you'd like to see more spoilers. I may even drop one in the video if I'm just feeling spicy. I don't know. So if we're thinking about this chronologically, the very next thing that they've officially confirmed with a release date is the Superman Kryptonite Crisis Dice Masters draft pack set. So we had the one in November that we're coming towards, and now we go all the way to April of 2021. That's a long gap, but it may be filled by something, and I'll talk about that in a moment. This one releases April 2021. The art looks really cool on the box and on the draft pack itself, and I'm sure someone's going to blow the image up here and really take a look at like all of the cards and dice that are on the side. I'm not going to sit here and do that, but I do want to talk about the basic action that they are showing on there called the Daily Planet. It's a 4-drop basic action that draws you 2 dice, and then you can prep up to 2 of them, so you could prep 0, 1, or 2, and then you roll the other ones, or the other one, or none of them. So you get this really interesting option of prepping 2 dice, or prep 1, roll 1, or roll 2 dice. I think that's really fun. I think that's really cool, and that is so good in draft. If you haven't considered it, that is really, really, really good in draft. That's very similar and reminiscent to like other ramp options that we've seen like printed, and all of those are good in limited. So this is one you would want to hope that you opened in a draft pack when you can actually sit down and draft again. And now for the first bombshell. So how do we fill the time in between the November release and the April release that we've just talked about? This seems like the perfect time to release the Fantastic Four vs. Galactic Dice Masters solo play kit, or maybe it's more of a solo play starter set. The way that it was talked about on the stream really lends me to believe that it is more of like a starter set, in the sense that you're going to get a like a pack of cards, enough for one player to get started in Dice Masters, were the exact words that were used. Enough for one player to get started. So it's not a full-on campaign box level or amount of cards. It's not a set, as you could consider it with a campaign box non-blind product. This is more like the old school starter sets that they used to release, except this one comes with apparently a full-on way to play the game solo, solitaire mode, and you're going to be taking on Galactus, which we literally have made multiple videos about how Galactus should be in the game, and there's been multiple people in the community that have made Galactus custom cards, and now we have Galactus. This is so exciting, and I had no clue that anything like this was in the works, and this blows my mind, because to me, this, first of all, it coming out of left field like this shows me that they are thinking further in advance than I think a lot of people give them credit for. So kudos to Wizkids for putting out a product in the Dice Masters universe, a Dice Masters product that is not just a cut and dry new set, release it, get some cash, because that's not what they're doing here. They are really trying new things, and they're listening to the community. Kudos to them for this. Check out the price point. It's going to be like $30. This makes a total sense for a starter set type product that can also release alongside of something they've never done before in the form of a solo play kit. So this is really, really cool. I think this answers a lot of questions that people were asking last year at Worlds when they said, well, how are new players going to enter the game? I think it's going to be through this. And they gave it to us with the Fantastic Four, which we're now going to see for the first time since AVX, the very first set ever released, and Galactus. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so good. And look, you guys, if the craziness didn't stop there, after we get the Superman Kryptonite Crisis set, we get a Secret Wars Dice Masters set. And this one, it says countertop display and it says draft pack. So we're going to get this in a draft pack set. And if you know anything about Secret Wars, this is going to be as epic as Infinity Gauntlet, or more, probably more epic than Infinity Gauntlet. This is going to be insane. They can literally do anything and everything they want. They can pull out like every keyword that they've ever created and put it into this set because of the amount of characters and abilities that are going to be on the table within this set. I think they're going to go absolutely insane with this set. So you kind of want to start preparing yourself for June 2021, because this will be just bonkers. I mean, look at who's in this picture. We've got Captain America, Thor, we've got Iron Man with a crazy Iron Man suit. I couldn't even tell you that. We've got Miles Morales just sitting in there swinging in. Like, it's too small for me to even make out some of the smaller characters. Ghost Rider's in there. It's gonna be insane. And even crazier than this, before this announcement, we knew nothing about there being any Fantastic Four related products, and now, if you know anything about Secret Wars, you know that the Fantastic Four are kind of a big deal within Secret Wars, and so is Doctor Doom, and we haven't seen any of them since AVX, and now here we go in 2021 with possible 2 products that could show those characters, and it could give us access to those characters again. How are you not freaking out like I am? I don't understand. And finally, in September 2021, we get an absolutely amazing looking set in the form of House of X Dice Masters. The art in this comic series or book, whatever you want to call it, is insane, is beautiful. It is so wonderful to look at, and I'm so glad that they started incorporating it into the Dark Phoenix set, because I love it. Absolutely love it. This is going to be another draft pack display, and I really like what they did with the scheduling out of these sets. They have one in April, they have one in June, and they have one in September. So they've spaced this out to give a couple of months in between each, and it also gives them some buffer to like move things around instead of just saying, hey, this one's going to come out this month and the very next month the next one and the next one. They've given them some buffer that they've built into it already. I love the art in this comic, and I love the storyline of this comic. I think the storyline is really interesting, and it gave me more interest in reading into the X-Men. And so I'm really excited to see what they do within this set. I think it could be really interesting. So the next question that you may have is something along the lines of, well, you've said all of these awesome products, but what about that Spider-Man set that they talked about all the way back in 2019? What about that Spider-Man set? Well, that's a really good question. They've really very much hard pivoted away from the campaign box products, okay? And the Dice Masters Spider-Man campaign box set and accompanying team pack, perhaps it's fallen by the wayside. Perhaps just because it was a campaign box product, they've kind of pulled away from that. Perhaps they're redesigning it, but I will say this, they have shown, and I guess they've given on some promo cards to the guys up at DM North. I would go check out their Twitch stream and their YouTube channel, and you can see these promo cards. There's 3 promo cards. There's the Spider-Man that they showed, which is the same exact art from the Spider-Man campaign box. So the same art on the card is on the box, which is very suspicious. They also showed a basic action card called Slingers, which has 3 spider characters on it. And then they showed a Typhoid Mary, which is a Typhoid Mary, but I guess could have connections, and does have connections to Spider-Man. Which leads me to believe maybe they're doing something where they're like taking and turning the cards into promos. If they have those 3 cards as promos, and they're doing something with regards to creating OP kits with it. Or maybe, and this is a crazy idea, maybe they're taking some of the cards from that set, or all of the cards from that set, and somehow incorporating them into Secret Wars, which could be really intriguing as well. What if we just found a bunch of Spider-Man cards in like an upcoming set, and we go, I wonder if these existed in another form and fashion prior to this. I think that could happen. I really, really do. So let me know what you think about this conspiracy theory in a comment below. Do you think they could repurpose these cards into another set, or do you think that this set is still going to, come out? It's still on the horizon somewhere. It's just not on the list right now. It is still technically in the solicits page last I checked, so maybe it is just still going to come out and they just didn't talk about it in this. I will say this. I asked around, and I heard that we should keep our eyes open the rest of this week, and that we should get some announcement sometime this week. So whenever they make an announcement about that set, I'll make sure to make a video and keep you caught up. So you should hit the like and the subscribe button so that you can get notifications if that video goes live. So there it is. That's the recap of all of the craziness that came out today. If you missed all of that, I hope I was able to get you caught up in a way that was easy to digest and kind of go through. And I hope you're as hyped as I am. Okay, fine, I can't do it. I'm just gonna give you one more spoiler. Here's another spoiler from the Dark Phoenix Draft Pack set. This is another basic action. This is Radicalization. It's a 3-cost basic action that says deal 3 damage to target X-Men or Brotherhood character die. It also says on the double burst, also KO target sidekick character die. And here's the best part. It has a global that says pay a shield. Target character die gains the X-Men affiliation or the Brotherhood affiliation. So this card has far-reaching impact to anything, because anything that's active, you can give that die the X-Men or the Brotherhood affiliation, and then you can use this, and I love it. I hope you guys like it as well. Alright guys, now I'm really done. If you want to see more spoilers, check back in a few days. I'll have another video go up in a few days. As always, thanks for watching.